Hey guys and girls, thanks for joining me today. So, upper body foam rolling. We're going to target those upper back postural muscles, the neck. We're trying to loosen everything up. So, foam roller, even if you have a short roller, it'll work. It just makes it a little bit more challenging to maneuver and manipulate the move, but it's still doable. So, if you have long hair, you want to tuck it over your shoulder in front of your neck and hold it there. If you have a hoodie like I do, pull it over because you end up rolling on top of it. So if you have long hair, when you lay down and then you start moving with the roller, eventually it gets caught underneath. So we want to prevent that. And you can see I'm starting mid-back, right below the shoulder blades. That's where you lay right on top of, on the roller, right below your shoulder blades, hips up, feet down. Use your legs, your feet, to push and pull as you move along the length of your shoulder blades. Now, I like to interlace my fingers and cradle my head like a hammock. And you just go up and down the length of the shoulder blades, going down below the shoulder blades, about mid-back, and then come all the way up to the top of the shoulder blades. Now your arms are just fairly neutral. Your elbows are kind of neutral, natural shoulder width. You can go a little wider, but it changes where your roller is targeting. So when your elbows are wide, the shoulder blades come together, and it kind of flattens out your back, and it just kind of hits a more general area. Now if you bring your elbows in and you point them to the sky or to the ceiling, and you're tucking those forearms in tight against your temples, it opens up your shoulder blades, and it allows you to get right in between those shoulder blades, and you can go all the way down, mid-back, all the way up, top of the shoulder blades. So you're just working below, full length up, top of the shoulder blades. You just go back and forth, up and down. Now you can change it, and we are going to change it, and we're going to work on our lats. So sometimes on the roller, you start to shift and you start to move. You might need to adjust and get set up again and bring it back down. Because sometimes you work your way towards the wall, and it happens. Tuck in that hoodie or that hair. I'm going to start on my right side. So my right arm is out. I'm going to turn. My feet are kind of wide. Knees turn and shift with me. And it can be kind of tough to do this. So you may need to do 2 or 3 times on one side. Back off. Extend the arm away from your body. Tilt to one side. You can see I'm dropping one shoulder down towards the roller, and I'm lifting another one up towards the ceiling. And I extend my arm, the arm that's extended out, that's the side I'm working on. And you go down, it's hard to say, and it depends on how much you can handle and what you can do, but right below the armpit, kind of, let's say you're still partially on the rib cage. I mean, you are on the rib cage, but you're a little bit on the shoulder blade still, a little. And you're kind of working right below that shoulder blade if you can feel it on the roller. Now, if you can't, you might be a little too far forward, in which case you're hitting a different spot. You might be getting more of the anterior serratus, the front of the ribs. Just be careful. You still want to have an angle with your shoulders, your height to the shoulder. The bottom shoulder is a little lower than the top. Right, so if I'm tilting to the right, my left shoulder is a little higher. And I still feel my shoulder blade on there a little. And I'm still going almost to the bottom of my shoulder blade, if that makes sense. But it's also personal preference and what you can handle. Right? Not everyone can do this, and it's a tough move. And if you notice it's tough and it's tight, you can just stay down and just lay on it. You kind of have to manipulate your body, find a good position, see where you're at, see where it's a little painful and tender, and then you can just stay there. If it's still too much, you might need a softer roller. And sometimes they say that a softer roller is better for you because if it's too stiff and firm, it can tense up the muscle, which won't allow you to penetrate and get in there and massage the tissue, the fascia, that you need to get the release. So if you have a hard one, you may want to think about getting a less firm roller. Now, one side may be a little stiffer than the other, and that's okay. You want to work both. And so now I'm on the other side, and I can tell I'm going to spend some time on my left. Now, you may feel that both sides are equally the same. That's okay. Get the lat on both sides. And so you can see how I'm pushing and pulling with my legs. That arm that I'm working on, or that arm that's extended, that's the side I'm working on. And you're just working that length. Again, that you should be feeling a little bit of that shoulder blade on there, on the roller. And you're coming down just below the armpit, below the shoulder blade, or right, just short of below the shoulder blade. Maybe mid-shoulder blade. Again, it's all dependent on you. You may not even be able to do this, and you're down, you're stuck, you know. And that, again, if you're able to get some release and some pressure on it, then you're doing your job. So whatever works for you. Now, the next one, the corner of the armpit. So where the lat comes in, deltoid triceps intersect. There's this little corner spot, tissue, teres major, right in there. That's what we're going to aim for. So hands behind your head, elbows out a little wide, and I'm tilting to my left. So now my left elbow goes down to the floor, and I'm right on it. And now from here I'm rocking towards the front, towards the back of the roller. So now we're purposefully on our side, but we're up a little higher. We're above the lats, so to speak. The latissimus dorsi. Teres major is a big role player in shoulder movement, shoulder strength, stability. It's a lot of work. Walking or running, all our training. It's a big role player, among a lot of others. It's all important. You gotta have a well-balanced body. If you want a little extra, you could elevate, but that's a little advanced and it's a little tough to manage. But you could try to prop yourself up, lift a little, and you can kind of dig in. It's a little tougher to do. It's kind of hard to manipulate the legs and get good leverage, but it is doable if you have that strength and that pain tolerance. Other side, same thing. So again, just getting into that muscle right there. We're almost done. So completely sideways, again, corner of the armpit, teres major, that top arm, the side that you're leaning towards, that top elbow comes over the roller towards the floor. And now you're just rocking back and forth. So this side doesn't hurt as much for me. Again, everyone's different. You may not even feel much. It's possible. You know, you may not be as tight as you think or stiff as you think. And again, some things really resonate well with certain people's bodies. So you take what you can and you make it your own, right? You do what feels good for you. And so hopefully I'm providing you with a little something to get you going with like a little bit of a game plan. You know, you can figure out real quick which ones hurt, which ones don't. And the ones that hurt, that are painful, where, you know, they feel tender, they're tight to the touch, Those are the spots that you want to focus on. And so those are your checklists. That's your checklist that you create. Okay. Moving on. One little stretch for the chest. Okay, so you're on your roller and your bottom of the shoulder blade, mid-back. Your arms, your elbows should be able to go over the roller completely. So if you need a front view, right, you can see the elbows are behind the roller. Okay, now from right here, we just go back, open up, and so you're going all the way back over the roller, letting that rib cage lift up. Now come out of it. You have to be careful. You have to be mindful. Right, if that messes with your neck, don't do it. Or the modified version is to hold on to your head and then elevate or lower the elbows, head, and allow the ribs to lift. You shouldn't be on your low back. Again, right below the shoulder blades, mid-back, hips are down, feet are wide. And we can go out. Now, if you can support your head, those snow angels, it's like a partial snow angel because we come down to about shoulder area, up again, towards the head, above the head, technically, even though you're moving in a horizontal plane. Within that horizontal plane, technically your hands are above your head. And so it's just kind of half a snow angel, and then you feel that stretch, the shoulders loosening up a little. Okay, moving on. Those can be tough, again, for the neck. And I know your head weighs something, right? It's not light. You got your brain in there, all the cerebral fluid in there as well. So your head can weigh anywhere between 8 to 12 pounds, maybe more, depending on how tall you are, how big you are. Everyone's different. So your neck has to work all the time to support your head. Now let's finish with our neck to give it a little relief. Tuck in the roller close to the shoulders. Nice and easy. You're tucking it in like a pillow, so it's in tight against your neck, against your shoulders as well, and you're holding on to it on the side. If you have a shorter roller, this is hard to do, but you just got to think about keeping it in close to the back of your head and tight to the neck and shoulders. And from there, it's like you're pretending to cross the street, looking left and right, rolling across the neck, turning the chin over. Now you can actively press your head into the roller. So that means you got to kind of use a little bit of your back muscles, your neck muscles, to push into the roller to get a little pressure. You can also tilt the roller to one side. So I pull down on my right shoulder, I bring it down in close to me, and I push the left roller, the left side of the roller, away from my shoulder. And then I'm just going to focus on the right half of my head movement, turning to the right, partially coming back, or not partially, but coming back to the middle, looking straight up, and then turning to the side. So it's that 90-degree right half movement. And so you isolate one side of your neck at a time. Because sometimes it can happen where one side of our neck is a little stiffer than the other. And so try both sides. So now we push away on one side and we pull and tuck in on the other. And again, focusing on that 90-degree half to the left now. For me, I'm on my left. DJ Alex. That's not me. I'm not. I mean, my name is Alex, but that's not. I didn't do the DJ playlist. Okay. So moving on, we're going to use this roller to stretch out our shoulders to get a little mobility. If you have a shorter roller, it's a little tougher to work with, but still doable. You might be better suited using the back end of a chair or something at least 3 feet in height, give or take. So from here, it's almost like a child's pose. Right? We start off with our hips sinking into our feet, and from here, I have this roller leaning towards my body. My right arm is extended, and then from here, I'm going to adjust and come up. Set up your feet, set up your body. It's almost like you're getting ready for a bear crawl. Now move the roller a little bit, get it set up. Now we got to come down slow. It's like a little bit of a push-up with that one arm that's on the ground. And you try to bring the chest close to the floor. You push out your bum a little, right? You're kind of tucking in the toes. The hips shift back a little towards those heels, but you're not quite sitting all the way down and all the way back. You have some weight into that front hand. You have some weight on that hand that's on the roller. And you're trying to bring that chest down and then the head a little bit below the height of the hand, the height of your elbow, possibly. And so you feel that big pull through the front part of your body from the rib cage up, and it helps us mobility, right? Bringing our arms overhead. Same thing, other side. So feet are wide, shift back a little, push out the hips, bend the arm, that down arm. So you get a good stretch, a little side view to help you if you need it. Again, we don't force a stretch, ever, right? You do what you can, and you use your body to stop when you need to. Use your arms and legs. If you feel like this is your max point of the stretch, this is as far as you can go, hold it there. But if you're feeling the stretch, you're feeling the stretch. It's all relative. It doesn't matter where your body is. The goal is to work on the mobility, work on some stretching. So you're at where you're at. It's all relative. If you're feeling the stretch, you're there. It doesn't matter. Arm out to the side now. So now we're going to really get the chest. So we set up the legs, the knees the same way. Now the alignment is right outside that shoulder. Be careful. Start slow. Coming down. So as you come down, you're going a little bit towards that roller, just a little. Now be careful, right? Make sure your arm isn't way out in front of you, right? It's right in alignment with your shoulder. You can see my side view. You can't even see my shoulder because my hand is in alignment with my shoulder, to the side, to the outside of my body. That's the good alignment. That's what you want. And then we sink down, drop the bum, push the hips back, bring the chest down, and get that good stretch. Come out of it when you need to and go to the other side, and we do the same thing. So we come down, it's almost like a little bit of a bear crawl. Hand outside that shoulder. So you can look at your hand, look at the roller, and then push the hips back, bend that arm. It's like a little bit of a push-up. Nice and easy coming down. That's it, guys and girls. Just a little something for the upper body, the chest, the back, the shoulders, a little bit of the neck. Again, pre-workout, post-workout, or whenever you're feeling stiff. So I hope you found that enjoyable. I hope you got a release. Continue to work on the ones that felt good for your body and incorporate them daily, because that's where you need it. That's your body's talking to you, and it's letting you know this is something you need to stretch out and work on regularly. So I hope you liked the video. Take care, and I will see you guys next time. Stay fit. Bye.